Commentary. Jambudvipa is our southern continent of Jambudvipa. All living beings undergo retribution for whatever karma they created. Having sowed good causes, they reap good fruits. Having sowed evil causes, they reap evil fruits. These are karmic retributions. Sutra. At that time, Earth Star Bodhisattva said to the Buddha, "World Honored One, because I received the awesome spiritual strength of the Buddha, thus come one, I am able to divide my body and rescue beings who are undergoing karmic retributions everywhere in billions of worlds. If it were not for the great compassionate strength of the thirst come one, I would be unable to manifest such changes and transformations. Now, the World Honored One has entrusted me with rescuing and liberating beings in the 6 paths until Ajita becomes a Buddha. I accept the entrustment. World Honored One, please have no further concern." At that time, the great Bodhisattva said to the Buddha, "World Honored One, because I received the awesome spiritual strength of the Buddha, thus come one, I am able to divide my body to teach beings and rescue all beings who give rise to delusion, create karma, and who are undergoing karmic retributions everywhere in billions of worlds." Earth Star Bodhisattva did not say, "I have great spiritual powers, I have great wisdom, I have unobstructed eloquence." He says that he is able to pervade billions and billions of worlds by relying on the power of the Buddha's awesome virtues and spiritual penetrations. If it were not for the great compassionate strength of the thirst come one, I would be unable to manifest such terrific changes and transformations, such as teaching beings in billions and billions of division bodies. He changes roles or identities. He transforms something out of nothing all of a sudden. Now, the World Honored One has entrusted me with rescuing and liberating beings in the 6 paths of gods, humans, hell beings, hungry ghosts, animals, and asuras, until Ajita becomes a Buddha. Does anyone know who Ajita is? You may not know Ajita, but you might have heard of Maitreya. Which Bodhisattva is Ajita? He is a Maitreya Bodhisattva. Maitreya Bodhisattva's name means incomparably victorious. He can overcome everything. No one can defeat him. His name means something so powerful. It is no wonder no one can defeat him. Since he smiles all day long and never gets angry, he enjoys wisdom that overcomes everything. Hence his name incomparably victorious. Ajita also means the kind clan. I accept the entrustment. I agree to do this now. World Honored One, please have no further concern. Do not worry. Sutra. Then the Buddha told Earth Star Bodhisattva, "Beings who have not yet obtained liberation have unfixed natures and consciousnesses. Their bad habits reap bad karma. Their good habits bring rewards. Reacting to situations by committing good or evil deeds causes them to turn into the 5 paths without a moment's rest. Throughout the eons, as numerous as dust motes, they remain confused, deluded, unobstructed, and afflicted by difficulties. They are like a fish swimming through waters laced with nets. They may slip through and keep their freedom temporarily, but sooner or later they will be caught. I am concerned about such beings. But since you keep making extensive vows repeatedly throughout successive eons to take such offenders across, what further worries need I have?" Commentary. Then the Buddha Shakyamuni told Earth Star Bodhisattva, "All beings who are still on the wheel of rebirth have not yet obtained liberation. They have unfixed natures and consciousnesses. They may have wanted to study the Buddha Dharma originally, but once they do, they change their goal, which means they are unfit in natures and consciousnesses. Their bad habits reap bad karma. Their good habits bring rewards. Reacting to situations by committing good or evil deeds causes them to turn in the 5 paths of hell beings, hungry ghosts, animals, asuras, and humans without a moment's rest. They become born according to their states and as they pursue states. For instance, encountering good friends who speak the Buddha Dharma for us, we go and do good deeds. Or we encounter corrupt friends who tell us to indulge in dissipation or to be mean. Hearing them often enough that we will act on it and possibly become like them. For instance, we gradually develop the habits of being diligent and frugal when we are with such people. Diligent and frugal people, after being with lazy people for some time, will be affected and become lazy. One takes on the color of one's company without realizing it. We turn red when we are around rouge, the same with the color black. For example, without realizing it, we make our hands black when we write with dark ink. Washed with brown dye, we turn brown. We are yellow when we are dyed yellow. In the words of this sutra, this is called reacting to situations by committing good or evil deeds. People who do not drink will start drinking for some reason when they are always with friends who drink. Draw near druggies and eventually they will turn into druggies. This is why we must be especially careful about making friends. Furthermore, people must listen to friends' advice. There are good friends and bad friends actually. We must believe everything that good friends tell us. We must dismiss everything that bad friends tell us. Reacting to situations by committing good or evil deeds is the same idea. Throughout eons, as numerous as dust motes, they remain confused, deluded, unobstructed, and afflicted by difficulties. Due to one action, they undergo as many eons as motes of dust in an environment fraught with confusion and karmic obstructions. What is this like? The sutra explains it aptly. They are like fish swimming through waters laced with nets. They may slip through and keep their freedom temporarily, but sooner or later they will be caught again by fishermen. I am concerned about such beings, this type of people. I am worried because, you see, Shakyamuni Buddha is said that we cannot get out of this dangerous and not at all fun fish net. So this is cause for concern for Shakyamuni Buddha. We should not worry. As long as we concentrate on studying the Buddha Dharma, things will work out. But since you keep making extensive vows, Shakyamuni Buddha addresses Earth-star Bodhisattva, saying, since you will fulfill the vows you made in the past, repeatedly throughout successive eons to take such offenders across, what further worries need I have? What is there for me to be sad about? I do not have anything to be concerned about. I can rest assured. Okay, go and do it. Shakyamuni Buddha heard Earth-star Bodhisattva tell him this. He responds by declaring that I will not worry anymore. Sutra. After that was said, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva in the assembly named Samadhi Self-Mastery King said to the Buddha, World Honored One, what vows has Earth-star Bodhisattva made during so many successive eons that now cause him to receive the World Honored One's special praise? We hope the World Honored One will tell us about this. Then the World Honored One replied to Samadhi Self-Mastery King, listen attentively and reflect well on the examples I am about to give you. Commentary. After that was said, a Bodhisattva Mahasattva, a great Bodhisattva too, in the assembly named Samadhi Self-Mastery King, who got his name because he reached self-mastery by cultivating Samadhi. Not only did he reach a sense of ease, but the king among different types of ease. He said to the Buddha, "World Honored One, what vows has Earth-star Bodhisattva made during so many successive aeons that now cause him to receive the World Honored One's compassionate, earnest, and special praise? We hope the World Honored One will tell us about this briefly." Then the World Honored One, at that time, Shakyamuni Buddha, replied to Samadhi Self-Mastery King, listen attentively, and reflect well on and remember the examples and detailed explanations I am about to give you." Sutra. One time, limitless asamkhyagas of narutas of inexpressible eons ago, a Buddha named All Knowledge Accomplished thus come one worthy of offerings, one of proper and pervasive knowledge, one perfect in clarity and conduct, well gone one, unsurpassed knight who understands the world, taming and subduing hero, teacher of gods and pupil, Buddha, World Honored One, appeared in the world. The Buddha's lifespan was 60,000 years. Commentary. One time. How far back in time? Limitless asamkhyagas of narutas. These are terms for eons and large figures. Of inexpressible eons ago, a Buddha named All Knowledge Accomplished thus come one appeared in the world. There are three types of knowledge: all wisdom, wisdom of various dharmas, and all modes of wisdom. All wisdom includes the other two types of wisdom and what is realized by the first come one. First come one is one of the 10 titles of the Buddha. One lay person asked me, "Are first come one Buddha and Amitabha Buddha different?" Actually, Amitabha first come one, Shakyamuni Buddha, Shakyamuni first come one, Medicine Master first come one, all have first come one as part of their name. Just because one Buddha is named first come one, it does not mean another Buddha cannot have the name first come one. The Buddha has 10 titles. We may have a formal name that our elders call us by, then an informal name that our peers call us by. Lion's Roar is a title that is heard far and wide as your reputation spreads. It symbolizes a loud sound. First come one is one of the Buddha's 10 titles that are derived from formal names of virtuous individuals. First refers to not having any specific location. Come refers to manifestations when responses and the way intertwine. These make up the name first come one. Also, first come also means one comes from nowhere and goes nowhere. First represents the nomen in fundamental enlightenment. Come is starting of wisdom of enlightenment. The first come one relates the nomen of fundamental enlightenment to the wisdom of beginning enlightenment. This is roughly what first come one means. The one worthy of offerings means that he deserves offerings from heavenly beings and pupil. There is another name for this, and that is the title of worthy of being a field of blessings. There are two types of fields of blessings, one that benefits oneself and another that benefits others. The one that benefits oneself is for one to study that which is true and eliminate delusion. What does that mean? It is beneficial for us when we study the truth and eliminate delusions. Once we understand, we can then go on to teach and change others, so that they also reach the truth and end delusions, hence benefiting others. 3. one of proper and pervasive knowledge. He is omniscient. Proper makes it different from the non-Buddhist improper. Pervasive is different from the two vehicles non-pervasive. Adherents of the two vehicles have certified to the nominant of extreme emptiness rather than pervasiveness, which is distinct from the two vehicles. Knowledge makes it different from ordinary individuals who have no knowledge. Proper and pervasive knowledge is omniscience. There is a title to the one of proper and pervasive knowledge, which is the title of pervasively knowing the Dharma realm. What does this title mean? As the Shuragama Sutra says, while the pine is straight, while the brambles are twisted, while the goose is white, while the crow is black, I understand the reasons. The Buddha understands that fundamentally why the way these things are the way they are. He even knows the number of raindrops, even just one beyond the 3,000 great thousand wounds. The Buddha received this title because he is omniscient, which is pervasively knowing the Dharma realm. One perfect in clarity and conduct. Clarity is also wisdom, while cultivation is blessings. Beings replete in both blessings and wisdom make the Buddha one perfect in clarity and conduct. There are three types of clarity embedded in this name. And what are they? Clarity. There is clarity with the heavenly eye from acquiring the penetration of the heavenly eye. Clarity of past lives. One understands everything that occurred in lives past. And clarity in ending outflows. There is also a special title to one perfect in clarity and conduct, which is the title of results that show virtues at the causal level. At the level of consequences, the Buddha manifests the virtuous conducts he cultivated in the past. Well gone one who understands the world. Another title for this is a wonderful proceeding toward Bodhi. This title includes wonderful proceeding because he is good at going to all the Buddha lands throughout the 10 directions. He uses provisional and clever expedients to teach and transform living beings. Unsurpassed Night is one of the Buddha's 10 titles too, because the Buddha has ended all delusions so that he has no more delusions of view, delusions of thought, delusions of dust motes, and others. If there are delusions left to sever still, then that would be a knight who still has something to surpass. Unsurpassed Knight has an alternate title too, which is a title of connecting with the false and reaching the true. The Buddha knows that everything inside and outside his body are illusory and false. Only the Buddha vehicle is true, and hence the title of connecting with the false and reaching the true. Taming and subduing hero with metaphorically steers a carriage. In Science times, carts are drawn by horses with someone whipping the horses and steering the cart. Driving a car nowadays is like steering a carriage. One evening, someone said to me, a driver is a taming and subduing hero. What does this hero tame and subdue? He tames and subdues beings of the 6 realms so that they reach the Buddha's fruit of Bodhi. This is the greatest hero because he tames and subdues living beings so that they all become liberated from birth and death, transcending the 6 paths of transmigration. There is also another title to taming and subduing hero, and that is the title of gathering in and transforming so they comply with the way. He transforms living beings, saving all so that they cultivate according to this path. Teacher of gods and pupil, The Buddha is the role model for gods and people throughout the Triple Realm. He also goes by the title of speaking the Dharma according to potential. The ninth name is Buddha. Buddha is a half of the Sanskrit word Buddhaya. Since the Chinese prefers things simple, the word became Buddha. The Buddha also goes by the title of perfect and clear in the three enlightenments. The three types of enlightenment are self-enlightenment, enlightenment of others, and perfection in enlightening conduct. When the three types of enlightenment are perfected, one is replete with the myriad virtues, hence one becomes a Buddha. The last one is the world honored one. Whether the world or beyond the world, the Buddha is respected. This name also goes by the title of being the only honored one in the Triple Realm. The Triple Realm consists of the Desire Realm, the Form Realm, and the Formless Realm. The Buddha is alone honored. When Shakyamuni Buddha was born, he pointed at the sky with one hand and pointed down at the earth with another hand, proclaiming, "Above and below, I alone am honored." This is why the 10th name for the Buddha is the World Honored One, and an alias by the title of being the only honored one in the Triple Realm. There are 6 meanings to the name World Honored One. 1. Self-mastery. The Buddha is most at ease. 2. Blazes like fire. 3. Proper and adorned. 4. Universally known. Everyone knows the name Buddha. 5. Auspiciousness. The name World Honored One means auspiciousness. 6. Honored. The above explanations are simple explanations of the 10 titles to the Buddha. This Buddha appeared in the world that Buddha's lifespan was 60,000 years.